up, YouTube? It's Bria with the Greenhouse Effect Huntsville, where we bud, bloom, and blossom, learning together in entrepreneurship. Today, we have our business spotlight interview, and we are interviewing an amazing boss woman. She was born and raised in Flint, Michigan, where she studied cosmetology and was also an elementary school teacher before residing in Huntsville, Alabama about 21 years ago. She has since then become an amazing beauty mogul and is a world-renowned celebrity hairstylist. She is also the owner of The Hair Diagram, as well as CEO and founder of Bold Hold Products. Yes, you guessed it. It is the one and only Tamika Gibson, and we are interviewing her today to get to know a little bit about her business as well as her history. So come on and join us and jump on the couch with us. Okay, now we are back and we have Miss Tamika Gibson with us. How are you, Tamika?
Doing great. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining us today. We just want to get to know a little bit about your businesses and what you do and just what we can know today about Miss Gibson. So we want to start off with your upbringing, and we know that you're from Flint, Michigan. And so what was that like up there? How long were you up in Flint, and how long before you transition to Alabama? Were you up there?
So actually, I was raised in Flint, Michigan. I'm from Michigan, and I was in Flint up until I was about 12 or 13 years old. And we moved to a smaller city, which was Benton Harbor, Michigan. From there, I actually went to college. I went to West Michigan for a year.
Okay.
And that's where I found out that school was not for me, and I just really didn't know where I wanted to go, so I joined the Army. So I stayed in the Army for about 8.5 years. Oh, wow. And after that, I met my husband in the military. After that, I came to Alabama, where he's from. Okay,
so he was on Redstone Arsenal. Is that where he got stationed to?
Actually, no. He got out of the military. We were in Fort Rucker.
Oh, okay.
He's from Birmingham. My husband is from Birmingham, Alabama, so that's why we resided here.
Nice. So you came down here in 2000?
About 2000, yeah.
Okay. So what kept you down here?
Well, first of all, when we were stationed in Fort Rucker, I used to have to travel through Huntsville, Birmingham to get to Michigan. And I always took a stop here in Huntsville. And so when I was like, wow, this place seems so peaceful. It's so clean. And I really like it. And I had a feeling, once my husband got out of the military, he wanted to move to Birmingham. Mm-hmm. And I really didn't want to raise my kids in a too big of a city. I kind of wanted it to be small, and I just wanted to feel safe, and that's what Huntsville, how it made me feel. So that's why I chose Huntsville.
Okay, cool. So I guess let's just start with your business aspect. Now that we know a little bit about why you moved down to Huntsville. So you moved to Huntsville around 2000, and you got into cosmetology after the military. So right. I guess my thing is, with you leaving school, school wasn't for you. Was it just something that you just wanted to get out of because you felt like you weren't happy and you felt you weren't fulfilling your purpose, or?
So for me, I think that I went to school to be a elementary school teacher. Okay. And I think I just really doubted myself a little bit when it came to, choosing that field. I think a lot of people, when they go to choose their career, they don't think about how serious it can be, how, it can impact others or even yourself. Mm-hmm. And so I just felt like, I was like, you know what? I'm responsible for this small person for 8 hours. They're going to be with me all day, and anything that I do is going to put an impact on their life. And I just didn't think that I was qualified or ready, or I just didn't think I could do it. So I just wasn't sure about what I wanted to do. So I joined the military. But prior to me having, the desire about hair, I've just always had that. And not my parents, but maybe my stepfather, he didn't think it was a profitable profession.
Our parents can be like that sometimes. They kind of.
But hairstylists really never reported their wages.
Right.
So when it's logged into the system, it looks like they only make about $13,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of put that off, and I joined the military because I still was undecided because I didn't want to let them down.
Right.
And so I just finally, I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do what my, I want to follow my dream.
Right.
So that's how I went ahead. I actually went to hair school while I was in the military.
Oh, okay. Because I think I did read something where you were kind of doing other women's hair inside the military.
Yes, I did. I did it for so long. But when I was in basic training, this is what really got me, like what really made me know I was going in the right direction. I had did everybody hair and the drill side. You know, when you go there, you're not there to look cute.
Yeah.
And so I did just practicing on people's hair just on the weekends. And so the drill sergeant, the next day we did like physical training. And he said, everybody here, he was looking like everybody here is done. And he was like, who did this? Who did this? And I was like, man, I'm about to get everybody in trouble. And so I didn't want to say me, but I said, they going to get in trouble for me. So he started making them do push-ups. He was like, y'all came here to look pretty? I was like, oh, God. I
must have, Lord, you missed it.
You know what, drill sergeant? It was me. So he said, get up here. So I got up here and I was like, man, well, at least they not in trouble.
Uh-huh.
And so he said, you know what? They look so much better. And I said, wow. I said, really? He said, yes, they do. And he continued to make them do push-ups. So it was a compliment.
Yeah. I know that really motivated you too. Like, dang, somebody actually looking at my work and compliment me on, making these girls look good inside of basic training. So yeah. Okay. I can see how it kind of, fueled your purpose too. You're like, okay, dang, I'm really good at what I do.
Yeah, it made me feel good.
So how did you come up with the name, the hair diagram? Where did that meaning or that symbolism come from?
So over the years, even while I was in the military, I always went to like Brownsboro Brother shows, right? Mm-hmm. And so the first years of me like studying, actually studying cosmetology professionally, I used to purchase DVDs when I was a younger stylist or whatever. And so I purchased the DVD. I had spent like $100 for that DVD. Wow. And I was so excited, and I got home and I put it in, and I didn't know my husband was paying attention, so I was so disappointed. They were exercising on there. It was just a whole bunch of just nothing. It was so disappointing. Mm-hmm. And I said, I cannot believe this. Like, I really looked up to this person, and I invested my hard-earned money. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I said, I just wish somebody would provide the information, just be, give us some concrete information on what we're doing, how to get there, where we're going.
Right.
And my husband, he said, everybody don't have integrity.
No,
people out here trying to make money or whatever. And so it was actually him that came up with the name. And I was like, I wish that I could show people how to get from plan. I said, I could have did that. All you got to do is tell me how to get there from A to Z. And I can, like, that'll just make it easy for people. He was like, okay, kind of like a diagram. And I was like, yeah.
Okay.
So he actually came up with the name. Like, he's always good about coming up with names.
That's good. That's really good. Because like me and my husband, we're in business together, and it really makes a huge difference when you have somebody that you can trust, and when you have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of, and somebody that understands your vision. So I really commend him for that, coming up with your name, because look at you today, like how far it's taking you, and just everything that you're doing is just really, really, really major. So that's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
That's really amazing. So with the hair diagram, were you like, did you want to be like this successful, like worldwide, internationally? Was that a goal of yours, or did it just kind of grow into that?
So we actually started doing DVDs before social media. So I don't think that I looked at it in that way, but I would always just be like, look up to a lot of the other hairstylists that did like platform at the hair shows. Mm-hmm. and just like anybody, like when somebody is bringing you something encouraging or even information that can help you do better or even make money, like that feels great. And I wanted to be one of those people who, was an encouraging, person in someone's life. Just, I want to be remembered like that. Oh, so yeah. I don't think that success, money, and things like that ever like was my fuel. I think it was more or less kind of like where I was going when I first started looking for my career. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to encourage people. And so when I purchased that DVD, and I was just like, wow, I could have did that. In which I did. So I started making DVDs, and we started with that name, the Hair Diagram. And we were selling DVDs just at the hair shows and stuff. Like, I don't think that I was like looking for fame or trying to, like, I just wanted to do something great. I just wanted to be an impression on somebody. I just wanted to give like information that I knew that could help the next person.
Right. Okay. So I guess when you started doing hair, like I know you were in cosmetology first, and then you started with the Hair Diagram with your brand. What made you come up with a 45-minute sew-in? Because that's around the time when I first met you. I met you probably like, I don't know, maybe it's close to 10 years ago, somewhere in there. But like, what made you come up with that type of method? Was it just something that you saw in the industry that the industry needed? Or were you just trying to make something quicker? Or was it something for you and everybody just kind of like grabbed on it and wanted to be a part of that, or wanted to have it in their hair? Or what made you come up with that method?
So when I came up with that method, I think I was like at my 5 and 7 year mark. I could not take new clients. And I was at I wasn't doing a lot of retail, so I really had tapped out when it came to, I capped out at what I could make. Because it would be years, like you couldn't get an appointment with me unless you was a relative. So I was capped out on the amount of money that I could make.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know how I could do more clients, you know. So I was like, wow. And then I really got tired of, I think it was one particular time I took a sew-in out, me and my assistant. We were taking out a sew-in of a lady that had her sew-in in probably 6 months. And it was so devastating. She had went through some depression or whatever it was, and we had a hard time getting that out. And my thing as a hairstylist, I'm going to do everything I can to protect your real hair. Right. So it took us probably about 6 hours to get it out. Whew. Yeah. And it was an awful smell, but we weren't going to like make her feel like that. So at the time, we were creating like quick weaves. I don't know if you remember like the glue-in. On the
I wore those too.
I was like, you know what? I feel like I could just go to the hair store and dissect these wigs. They're so ugly, and they're one size fit all, so they're not gonna look good on everybody. Maybe I can dissect the pattern. I know how to use a sewing machine. I'll make my own. So when I do these sew-ins, these women can come back and get their real hair shampoo, because there's no way that you can go in and shampoo a sew-in properly and rinse everything out, because a lot of things get trapped in the braid. Right. Nobody can say they sit up there and rinsed everything out. And some people, mostly people with thin hair, it damages their hair. Now, the people with thick hair, they don't notice it right off. A lot of times you go in to curl your real hair, when you decide to not wear that sew-in, you curl your real hair, it goes limp. Right. You know why? Because the conditioner that has been put on there, it gets trapped inside the braid, it over-conditions the hair, and it damages the hair. So, with me making the 45-minute sew-in, I was making a hair piece. You can still have leave out. At that time, people wasn't wearing like the lace. So you can have leave out, and all we would do was just attach that piece on there. You come back in 2 weeks, we take the piece off, take down those braids, shampoo your real hair, condition, put it back on, and my lady's hair was beautiful. So I was like, okay, and then I still tapped out, and I was like, you know what can I do? So I started making wigs for a lot of my my friends that did celebrities' hair. So I was like a ghost wig maker for them. And I just started making wigs and tapped out again. And I said, you know what? Maybe I should just start teaching them how to do it. Yeah. And that's where social media, I think in 2011, that's where I joined Instagram, and that's where I started that journey.
Oh, wow. Wow, okay. So when you got on Instagram, was it just showing installs, or was it more of an educational thing? How did you come on Instagram? Because I see that you on TikTok doing the reels, and you doing the IGTV videos, and like you just got it mastered. So how did you come on? Like, how did you come on with it?
I didn't know what to do when I got over there. I didn't know what people wanted to see. I really didn't understand it. You know, at that time I was an older hairstylist, so I was like, I kind of felt behind. I felt like I was behind, but I started to study it, and I said, you know what? post different things because I was that hairstylist that did everything. Like, I don't have any, like, you can't say, well, Tamika can't cut, she can't color, but she know how to, no, I just do everything. So I started posting different things to find out what they wanted to see. And once they wanted to see that sewing machine. They wanted to see those wigs. So that's all I would post. So then that's when I understood that Instagram puts you in a niche. So I wouldn't really show other things that I did, only that, and that's what catapulted my page.
Wow, that's amazing. And like I said, I love your videos. I love your content. I think it's amazing. Like, you know, all the TikToks that you do, like you do a lot of content. And like I said, it really does keep people engaged. And it's not just so much just funny, you know, pretty pics. It's really informative too. And so I can definitely see how you pulled that school teacher stuff in, you know, school teacher mode in, teaching us and informing us on things. And not just, you know, just showing some pretty pictures and things, which I can really appreciate too. And that's something that really drew me to you too, because not only am I just looking at what you're doing, I'm learning something along the way as well. So I really love that about your Instagram.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So my next question is, which is one that I personally want to ask. What keeps you going during your most stressful days? Because I know that you say you work 7 days a week. You always working sun to sundown. So like, what keeps you during your most stressful days? What keeps you grounded? How do you keep yourself grounded and not, you know, get burnt out or, you know, get too exhausted with what you're doing and your content and your work schedule and your kids and your wife and, you know, keeping your house in order? How do you balance and how do you just keep yourself grounded while doing that?
Well, for me, I really don't know if balance really exists. I think that you can try your best to try to balance it out, but for me, I haven't been able to have like an easy streak. So for me, I'm very forgiving of myself. Like, if I don't get to a task, I don't wear myself out about the fact that I didn't get to it. I just put it on my list for the next day. Like, tomorrow is a new day, I'll start over. It just moves over to the other list. Like, because I don't like the feeling of anxiety. Like, I don't like how that feels. I have so many different things that get thrown at me every day. And I know tomorrow is going to be a whole new problem, or it may be a great day. I don't know, but I just stay positive. Like, I don't like to like, if I have a plan to clean and I don't get to all of it, I'll say, well, you know what, I'll do it, because I like to do my own cleaning. So I just do the bathroom.
Me too.
Today. The only thing getting done today is the bathroom.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't like to overwhelm myself with things. So I'll make a list, and if it don't get done, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Even with my husband, we make plans. If they don't happen, we'll do it tomorrow or next week.
That's good. That's really good. And so, like, because like how you said, anxiety, I just feel like, you know, I'm real particular how I like things. I don't beat myself up if I don't get to it, but it's just like, okay, dang, I didn't get to do that today. Oh my God, like, you know. But like you said, you can't beat yourself up about it. If you don't do it today, you have to do it tomorrow, or do it the next day, or, you know, however it falls in line.
Don't get me wrong, like, you do have to hold yourself accountable when you're an entrepreneur. That who is the boss? Like, you have to hold yourself accountable, but I'm still going to forgive myself and say to me, you know, just like I'm talking to another person, tomorrow, you make sure you get it done. Right.
So, like, do you, I guess with everything that you have going on, is it just like in your head, or do you have a schedule, or like, do you like
I have a schedule, but sometimes things are just in my head. But I actually have like 3 virtual assistants, and we all work together on that Google Calendar, and we try to make things work. Sometimes they work, and sometimes they don't. Yeah, I just don't like to overwhelm myself. I'm a creative, so if sometimes I have organized chaos, because I like the excitement of spontaneous things.
Yeah, because I think something different.
Yeah, like, I think that helps my creativity. I don't like things always in order, because a lot of times people can't handle when they don't work out. Because sometimes you have to pivot. And I think that people who have like expectations of things always working out perfect, those are the ones that suffer from anxiety really bad. And I just don't want to live there. And if I do get in those spaces, because I am human, I only give myself 5 minutes, girl, you got to get up and go.
Right. What's been the most rewarding part of this whole journey for you?
So for me, when I get emails, text messages, and calls, sometimes people call me crying because they were able to quit their job because of different techniques that they've learned and implemented. People thanking me, for giving them add-on service that has made them a lot of money. People messaging me, telling me they're able to retire from behind the chair. Those are all of the things that I ever asked for that I wanted to do, that I was telling you in the beginning. Like, to be an asset to somebody is like, that's everything.
Yeah.
That's everything. I think that people get a little, like when you hear people speak about being an entrepreneur, the first thing that they say is, I just want to be able to come and go as I please. I just want to be able to make all the money and just do whatever I want to do. I always find, and I could be wrong, when I look at those people, they're still not happy because they really didn't find their purpose. Yeah. So I think that when you dig deep, and I don't care if it's flying a kite, you can make money doing anything. Especially if you put the proper things in order, especially God first. Like, you can be happy. You're not going to be happy just because you have the money to do what you want to do. If you or not do anything at all, that's not going to make you happy. Yeah. Like, you have to have a purpose. Like, you have to have a purpose every day. No matter how much money I would make, like, I want to fulfill a purpose every day of my life. I understand that. Yes, I understand that completely because, and I will say I was guilty of this. I went to school for engineering, and when I went to school, I was always thinking about the money. I want to be in a career that's not going to go anywhere so I can have some money, so I'll be good. But once I got into it, like you said, it just didn't make me happy. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't anything. I felt like I wasn't fulfilling a purpose or adding value to anyone's life. I just felt like that I was just in a bubble to make money. That's what I was focused on. And so, like you said, like, your purpose was to educate, and just how you're changing people's lives and how they're coming to you, and just with all these testimonials, they really you're fulfilling what you set out to do. And I completely understand that. I understand it completely. I didn't understand it when I was younger, but as I got older, I understood, because like you said, like, money doesn't make you happy. What makes you happy is what you care about genuinely, what your purpose is, fulfilling that. It's no greater feeling than that. And, that's why I do what I do, because I just feel so full at the end of the day, because I know what I'm doing is genuinely what I want to do and what I set out to do, and help other people. I believe it's all about helping people, like you said, at the end of the day. Yep. Most definitely. So I was going to ask one piece of advice, but that was a great piece of advice. I think that everyone looking at this video today should take that and definitely soak in with it, align with that, chase your purpose, not the money, not the fame, not the followers, not none of that. Chase your purpose, and everything else will align with it. So that's going to conclude part 1 of our interviews. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know some comments. Let us know what you think about this video, and don't forget to stay tuned for part 2, where we talk about our mauve convo with Tamika and get to know a little bit more about her. Thank you.